I wanted to make this video to talk about how I foamed my toolbox to get my tools organized. This is with a Harbor Freight box, and I tried to search online for companies that make this tool foam, and it's crazy expensive, so I figured I'd try to do it myself, order my own materials off Amazon and kind of do it custom. That's what this video is all about. It's the materials I used, how I traced them, how I cut them, and how you can try to get a result like this. This isn't going to be a perfect laser cut product like you can order online, but the cost, it cost me 6 times less to do it this way. I've only done 3 drawers so far, but in this video I'll go through how I did it. I'll have links for timestamps on all the different sections of the video if you want to skip around, but this is the final product. The box I'm using for this is this Harbor Freight 26-inch roller. You can do this with any toolbox you have, you just need to do your own measurements to cut your drawer linings out. But this is a really good box, and this video is going to show the products I used to fit this in the dimensions almost perfectly. And I was able to do this really cheap and take my time with it, and I think it turned out really nice with this box. Alright, this is the most important part of the whole thing. Finding your top layer of foam that you're actually going to cut into the shape of your tools. Trying to buy this online as it marketed as a tool foam just to do the 6 drawers in the box, which I'm only doing the 6 top ones. I don't want to do the 2 big bottom ones. This foam would cost more than double the price of the box just to get the foam, not even cut for tools. But this cosplay foam on Amazon is perfect. First, for the dimensions of the drawers. This is a 23.6 by 59. It's a weird measurement to me, but it makes it so you can cut out 3 sheets to do 3 drawers and have almost no waste. Now this does arrive rolled up. Here's what it actually looks like when it arrives, but you can flatten this out and just set something heavy on top of it, some pieces of wood or whatever, and it'll eventually lay flat. But this foam, it's not really rubber. It's kind of like the gym floor material that you snap together, where it's a foam but it's very firm. It doesn't absorb anything. If you spill sweat or petroleum products, oils, anything like that on it, it just wipes up. And it's really not that hard to cut with the tool I found, and that's what I'm going to get to after I talk about the bottom layer of foam. Next part is the bottom layer. You want to pick a bright color underneath, so when you pull a tool out you can clearly see that it's been removed. It's not like black top foam and black bottom foam. The easiest for this is just a thin yoga mat. Here's the cheapest one I could find on Amazon. It's a good price. It's a little bit longer than the actual top foam piece you order, but you're still going to need 2 of them to do all 6 drawers. But at the $15.99 price point, you can't really beat it. This does show rolled up, but you unroll it and it already lays flat. It's very easy to cut with scissors, so this is the best affordable piece I could find for that bottom, just to get the color difference. The next piece is something to cut your top layer of foam. Yes, you can use a regular utility knife to cut this, but you're going to have to change the blade pretty often. The knife works good for straight lines, but if you're cutting circles for standing sockets or some curved shapes like a screwdriver or a ratchet, this is a great tool for it. I guess this is like another cosplay tool. It's sort of shaped like an ice pick, but it heats up. It does a really good job cutting through this foam. It's a lot easier to make the curved shapes than it is with the utility knife. It's very affordable. I definitely recommend picking up this knife. It made the whole thing a lot easier to do. To get started, you want to lay out your tools on the foam and just try to plan what your layout's going to be. This step's very important because this really is permanent. Once you cut it, you can't go back. You can't fill in pieces you already cut out. So set it up, see how you like it. I recommend put it inside the drawer of the toolbox. Make sure if things are standing up or however they're arranged that they're actually going to fit when you open and close the drawer. But this is very personal. It depends on how you want to do it. This is just a generic setup for my impact sockets. So this is what my first trace drawer looked like. This was the first one I tried. I used a Sharpie. I don't really recommend that. I found as I went through that the best tool you can use to trace is just a regular wood number 2 pencil. It makes it the lines are a little more precise, I'd say, and the pencil's a lot thinner than a Sharpie, so you can get much closer around the edge of the tool. And when you use the pencil, it really almost imprints itself and kind of scores the material, and it makes it a lot easier to see. When you're cutting on the marker, you have to have really good lighting to make sure you can actually see the lines you're cutting. Now, as far as actually cutting the foam. Really, it's not too hard. You get your foam cutter, plug it in, let it get hot, and you just start on your first tool. These are examples of some sockets. The circles are very easy to cut. I definitely recommend standing up your sockets to cut circles instead of laying them down flat. The rectangles are much harder to cut. But this is where you take your most time. You get what you put into it. If you sit down and really take your time on each cut, you can get this to look really professional. I got better as I went, so this is one of the last drawers I did for my regular 3/8 and 1/4 inch sockets. And you can tell from those pictures in the beginning that drawer probably turned out the best. But this part, it's time consuming for sure, but you save so much money cutting the foam yourself, buying these materials on Amazon, than you would ordering actual tool foam, that I thought it was a fun project, and I really like the final result. It helped me organize my box. It's functional, and I'm really glad I went through with it. If you have any other questions, please comment. Feel free to ask. If you have any other ideas to improve on this, go ahead and throw that in there. Thanks for watching, and I hope this inspired some people to put some foam in their own toolboxes. Thanks.